What do you believe is your opponent's biggest strength and greatest weakness?
Well, I think Senator McCain has a number of strengths. Obviously, he has great inner resolve and determination. And he himself, I think, has indicated how that was forged in his experience as a POW. And I have the utmost respect for that. He served us gallantly and with great distinction, and we honor that. With respect to Senator McCain's weaknesses, I would, rather than talk about his personality, I would simply say that his policies seem to be just a carbon copy of the policies that we've seen over the last 8 years. She hasn't paid a lot of attention to the difficulties and hardships that ordinary Americans are feeling, and the history of America that shows that economic growth happens most when the pie is growing, but it's also growing for everybody.
I think his greatest strength is that, and I admire and respect Senator Obama, is his ability to motivate Americans. He does that with great eloquence, and he motivated millions of Americans and continues to do so. I think probably his greatest weakness is his lack of experience and therefore judgment. And that's just what has led him, I think, to make certain judgments which I don't think are best for this country.
When was the last time you cried and why?
This one is actually easy. It was Malia, my 10-year-old daughter's birthday party. We were in Montana, and she's a 4th of July baby, so oftentimes during this campaign we've been traveling during her birthdays, and so we were there in a small hotel, I think a Holiday Inn, and we had a big public thing. The staff organized for a smaller family party, and we were in this little nondescript conference room with Malia and Sasha, Michelle, me, my sister, my brother-in-law, and my niece. And there was a cake, and there was some food, which wasn't, stellar. And the staff had put together an iPod of all her favorite music, the Jonas Brothers and Beyonce, and we just spent the evening just dancing. And we were dancing to all their songs, and they were laughing because, obviously their daddy's dancing is ridiculous. And Malia came up and she said, "This is the best birthday I've ever had." And she meant it. And I looked at her and I realized, that she was growing up, and that she was wise and turning out to be somebody who would say that to her dad, maybe even if she didn't mean it, just to make me feel good. Yeah, it chokes me up right now talking about it. Yeah, my kids can get to me every time.
I cry regularly.
You do?
Oh yeah, I'm very sentimental when I see these young people who are serving. I met a woman at a town hall meeting the other day who had lost her son in Iraq, and I was so touched because she talked about how proud she was of her son and his service, and what a fine young person he was. And whenever you have that experience, obviously you think, how could I ever cope with such a tragedy, And so, when I say cry, I get my eyes well up, as they are right now, thinking about these brave Americans and their families who have sacrificed so much for our country, especially recently.